the Dreamers podcast. We have Sahayra. She is from Seattle and she has been with DACA for how long?
24 years. Sorry. It's been 24 years.
24 years. So you were brought here? You
I
were
was
brought
pregnant
here
when I was
when, how old were you?
2. I was 2.
You were 2.
I was little.
Do you remember when you came? Like, do you know the story of how you were brought here?
I know that we took a flight from the state in Mexico where we were in to the border, and then we crossed over via vehicle. Like we crossed through the border. Like they checked and stamped or I think there's actually an issue with that. But yeah, we went through inspection and then we were picked up by a relative once we were on the other side of the border.
Right?
Yeah, we didn't cross.
Mine like that too.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, like when I came to, I remember like crossing the border and just going with my uncle to Texas. I don't remember like hiding. I don't remember like having to
Well,
pass, how like a lot of people come now.
I don't remember a lot because I was 2, but
Yeah.
that's the story that I know.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Next one. You said you came when you were 2. Do you remember the first time that you realized that you were undocumented? Like you weren't able to like do things or like do what your friends were doing? Like what was the age that you were like, "Oh, I can't."
I was always a very aware kid, so I always knew my situation was different. So my mom comes from a military household, and she was a police officer, and my dad in Mexico was a federal agent. So they they didn't like being in the country undocumented, and so for us, they made us very aware of the laws. It was very important to them that we understood that we were not permitted to be here and why we weren't permitted to be here, and that we were not to be accountable. That's how they would explain it to me. Like, you're not to be a weight on the system, and we're not to ask for handouts. So we're going to work as much as we can. We're going to do our fair share and live as correctly as we can because we're already breaking the law. And so I knew that. And they made sure that I knew that.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. How was it growing up? You kind of touched a little bit on it. Growing undocumented, and did it like make an impact on your day to day?
Yeah, I mean, I remember being 7 years old and my mom had gone to the store for tortillas or something. And I remember having un trapito, like I was helping clean and sitting like a house, like, like just like a little housewife, just like going like with something wrapped around my little waist. And I sit on the couch and I put my little trapito on my lap and I'm like watching the news and I'm like, oh my God, there was another immigration raid. And I was like, oh my gosh, like my mom, like I was like checking the time. I was like, how long has my mom been gone for? Like, is my mom next kind of thing? If my mom took a little too long at the store. That's what I mean, like I was always aware. My sisters were too. Like the possibility of us getting deported was very real for us. It wasn't like my parents never hid that from us. It was if your mom is at the store for too long, you call your dad. Then you let him
You know
know.
what? That's true. They would do a lot of raids back then. I remember that right now when you said it. They would, yeah, especially like factories.
Yeah, factories,
Yeah,
apartment buildings. Yeah, because the majority of the people in apartment buildings were like undocumented.
that's true. Yes. I didn't even remember that until right now that you said it. You would hear about a lot of raids and like knowing that, oh my God, like if my parents are taking too long it's because probably something happened.
Yeah, yeah. And we had
Oh
a
my
plan.
God,
They
that
were
is so
planning for
true.
our yeah, and we had all these
Right?
steps. That's for me. It's like
Isn't that
parents.
crazy?
Yeah. It's crazy to me when parents keep that from their kids, and I'm like, I mean, think good for your kid that your kid didn't have to grow up with that worry. But what if something would have happened?
True. That's true. Like you kind of want to shelter them from, like the ugly part of it, but it's so smart to like have a plan and make them aware of like, hey, like this may be a possibility. Like if this does happen, like this is plan A, plan B,
Yeah.
like something for you to do instead of just, having them, like in the dark and not knowing like backup plan. That is so true. Like if something like that would ever happen, like that is just like the scariest thing to think about. Like what would happen to, you know, like your kids, like especially if you don't have family,
hmm
like to take care of them.
We had we had a few tias here. One of my tia was lawfully present, and she was the tia that we were planning. Like she was our safe house. Yeah, it's crazy. Like a safe house, like parents get arrested
Yeah,
or something, then we call my tia, and she would take us in, kind of thing. And what would they do? She's a citizen.
true, true. This is just so crazy to think about now. Like, there hasn't been a pathway to citizenship for so long. Like you said, like you've been here since you were
hmm
2, and it's
Yeah,
like, and
yeah.
they have so many things.
Work 10 years. Work 10 years and pay into taxes, and you won't get any of that benefits. You'll start from day one, from day zero, but you'll have a path as of that
Right?
day. I would already qualify. I've been working. I'm 26 now. I'm
Serio.
paying
Yeah.
into it. Let me do it. Let me do it. But no, no kidding.
And you know what, girl? Okay, I saw a lot of interviews because there's a lot of people like were interviewing, all the like the Trump supporters, all the MAGA, telling them like, did you know that all of these, you want to get rid of all these immigrants, you want to send them back to their country. Like they were giving them the facts, like they bring so much money to the country. Like they are putting all their money, like taxes, all of that's going into Social Security, it's going into Medicare, it's going into all of this stuff. They don't get any of it. Like we don't benefit from this. Like all of this is taken out of our checks when we work. Like they think that we're here illegally working. They don't know about TIN, how people get I-10 numbers so that they can do their taxes. And
Yeah,
they're
there's just
just over here in their little bubble.
a lot of lack of education, which is honestly why it's one of the first things I end up telling people, especially when I learn that they're conservative. I'm like, I talk to them about myself, and in the moment they're like, "Wow, you're just like such a cool person," or "Wow, like like I'm really impressed." I'm like, "Yeah, no, it's undocumented." I remember being in school, and this kid was like me cracking a big huge joke, and he was like, "Haha, well, you tell me like what color is a green card?" And I was gonna be like, "Green." And this girl sees me hesitate for a moment, and she jumps in. She's like, "It's blue, isn't it?" Kelsey, I think is her name or something. And I was like, he's like, "Yeah, it's green, like whatever." And then he's like, "But I was asking her," something like that. She saved me from a life, like a school life of bullying. And I don't know if she realized it. I don't know if she'll ever know, but I'm so grateful to her for that. But I don't want anyone else to ever feel like that. I don't want to ever feel that way again. Um,
Right?
so as Obama came out with DACA, I was like, fuck this shit. I'm a DACA recipient. Like, I am undocumented. I'm illegally, unlawfully here. This is my circumstance.
Yeah.
And it was like when I say sometimes it's with, it is with passion, but it is also with like frustration. Like, I
Right.
hate
Yeah.
being in this fucking situation. I wanted to join the Air Force. Like, as soon as I turned 18, I wanted to join the Air Force. I wanted to serve the country, but I couldn't because Trump removed that ability for people who are undocumented to serve. I think he removed it in like 2015, 2016, and I turned 18 around that time. And
Wow.
I talked to people a lot of, like, there was this general, and things happen for a reason, but he gave me a piece of paper to go talk to someone very specific, and I misplaced it. But I was ready to march down there and be like, I want to join. There's just no path for me to
Yeah.
join, no way for me to serve. And I was
Yeah.
holding hopes up until I was 24. But I was like, oh, I'm still 24. Like, I have my BA now. Like, I will, because I love the linguistics. They have a very developed linguistics department in the Air Force, and Mira que sucedió that it didn't happen that way. But I was ready. I was like, just let me serve. Just let me come up with a way. Like,
Right. You're like, where do
uno
I
que
sign
habla.
up? Take me now.
I was like, do it. But yeah,
Mm.
so
I did not know that.
it's so frustrating. There's no path.
Literally,
There's
because
no
that was
path.
like a big thing that a lot of Latino kids were doing. They were enlisting to the military so that they can go ahead and get their citizenship, not just for them, but for their parents also.
Yeah, that too. Fortunately, my parents and the rest of my family found a different path that worked out for them. For me, I've gone a little bit into my dating life with you earlier, but it's hard. It's
It
hard out
really
here.
is.
And like I told you, I sooner get deported than marry someone I don't love. I don't want to marry because of a green card. I want to marry because I
Mhm.
want a family with them because they are my elected
Exactly.
and selected significant other. I want to marry them because I want to have their kids, not just
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit and quit it in 5 years. No,
Yeah. True.
like I am too devoted to the people I date to me have something just marry someone for it's just not possible. Yeah, and the majority of people feel that way. The majority of people feel that way. It's
Yes.
not just
Yes.
me and you. It's a lot of us do.
Mm.
The majority of us. But what sane mind wants to marry someone they don't like? It's marriage. It's beautiful. It's a commitment.
True. True. Yeah. And I feel like you also want to feel like not, I don't know if earn it is like the correct word. Like I want to say like you want to feel like you've achieved it, like you know,
Yeah,
like it's
yeah,
yours.
yeah,
It's not
exactly.
dependent on somebody else.
Exactly, it's a sense of pride, like, I have been here since I was 2. I've been a DACA recipient since I was 16. That's 10 years now, like, freaking dang it. I have earned it. I don't mind, um, I what I resent the most is the uncertainty of it.
Yes.
Like, people are like, go back to grad school, so many other people have done it." I'm like, "Good on them. Good on them." But I wanna do it myself. I wanna go to grad school by
Yeah.
myself. I wanna pay for my stuff. I don't want 'em to be
Yeah.
and whoever else I don't know how other people do it. They have, abilities that I do not, clearly. But what I find on me a lot is the uncertainty that I may not be here to receive my diploma when I graduate. Like
Right. Right. Yes.
and if I go into, because I would love to either go back to law school or get a PhD in sociocultural anthropology. It's very two different things.
Oh my God. You want to help others. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to help and I want to help my community. And I grew up in this community. This is my community. I just want to understand. But yeah. Anyways, right.
Do you feel like this is like your identity? Like, oh, I'm a dreamer. I'm a dreamer, like this is the identity that you wear like a badge almost, like does it identify you?
No, no, not at all. If anything, I've moved away from identifying as a dreamer. I said this towards the end, in that letter I wrote to Congress and in a little poems that I've shared. I don't have time to dream. I don't have time to sit
Mm.
here and,
It's like the total
and
opposite.
it's total opposite. I don't have time to sit here and be like, oh, I dream of a better tomorrow. Like our life is just so raw, and it's unfortunate that oh, immigrants wake up, work, do extra hours, pull extra shifts. When we serve our community, it pulls my heartstrings when I see my community members struggling. Furthermore, people who are migrating to the country who are facing discrimination, like I feel just that much more passionate and ignited to help them advance. We like no, there is no I dreamt like I would identify as a dreamer as a kid when I was in school, when this was a
Yeah.
conversation. My sister, her middle school was one of the first in the state, I think, to join the Dreamer movement. And she was one of the first dreamers to partake in that back in the day. I am very proud of her for it. And she, was the one that brought that idea home to my home. But to me, I started doing youth advocacy and like Latino advocacy and all of that when I was around 16, and I just like turned around and saw that it's not just us who's struggling; it's just literally everyone.
Literally.
So for me, it's like I genuinely don't have time to dream. Work full time. I have dogs. I have my niece and nephew. I would love to have a family, but in this economy, I would love to find my significant other and be in a place in that relationship where I could get married tomorrow and start my family and own a house. That
Right,
is
right,
things that I dream of, but
right.
to dream of Congress and legislation and like doing something, it's hard. It's hard for me. I just honestly, it feels like I'm trying to stay afloat and something keeps pushing me down into the water, and
Yeah,
I just have a moment to gasp a little bit
right.
of air
Yeah,
and go and try to be in survival mode.
literally. Yes. That is
Yeah. So I ask people, if you had your head being pushed into the water with only moments to gasp air, would you have time to drink?
yeah. That is such a great way to put it. Literally.
That's how I feel. Like literally, sometimes I'll go to work and I'm like,
Yeah,
and then pretend
yeah,
like there's like I have to serve my community and I have to pretend like when I help people apply for food stamps and apply for help and apply for this, and I'm like rental assistance, like how do you do? And they're just like
yeah,
telling me all this life trauma, and I'm like, my head is like, me too. But
yeah, right.
it's not
Yeah,
me, it's not them.
literally. Yeah, so,
So
so
no,
true.
yeah, I would not say that I say I'm a dreamer. I do say what I do identify very strongly as is someone who's undocumented. I do say
Right.
I'm undocumented. And given how my parents got here and why they got here, I say it with my chest. People like my family, like my parents, like myself, we are here and we've contributed and we've worked, and it is to the US's benefit to let us stay. Like we have an American education.
Literally. Yes.
I have a job. I work with my American community. I'm familiar with my American community. I don't want to strip from the fact that I am of a different country, that there is that tradition, that heritage that comes with me.
Yeah.
I am an immigrant at the end of the day. I bring part of another community with me. And that community is
Yeah.
always a part. That land, the society, I want to say, is not my home. The society I live in here is my home. They get me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mexicans wouldn't get me. And I don't mean Mexican Americans,
No, yeah.
and I don't mean, because
That's
look,
such a
like,
good point.
yeah, like and that's the thing. Like when they say we're not from there, we're not from here. No, I get that. I get that,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
When I talk to my cousin, I'm like, I get that you have an education and that there are no jobs there and that the economy is just different. I've talked to my other cousin. She's like, you would never fit in here because like the way that we see friendships is different. And I'm like, I get that. I get that, dude. That's fine. That's your experience. That's your
Right.
story. But I have a
Yeah.
right to feel like I am of the nation I was born in, as I have the right to,
Right.
I am part of the community that I grew up in.
Yes.
I grew up here, you know?
Yeah.
This is being Mexican is part of my identity, but being American, I feel pride in that too.
Right? Like, that's why I don't understand when they say, like, deport, all the dreamers or whatever. It's like, this is the only place we know as home.
Yeah.
Like, we've learned all of your traditions. Like, we've learned the language. We've learned,
We've
like,
learned not just learn, but love. We've grown to love.
exactly. Yes. Yes.
Like
And
I
then
like I
you're
said
trying to, like,
in my TikTok, I make eagle noises when Europeans attack people like Americans on social media. Okay, and I mean it. I mean it. When they start saying things about, oh my gosh, you're going to your big servings, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And it's just it's it's rough. It's rough out here, dude.
it really is. It really is. Okay. Next one. Okay. I feel like we discussed this already. What was your reaction when you found out about DACA back in 2012? Like you said, you got it when you were 16. Were you kind of like relieved that there was something available for you to, like be able to feel like at least a little, like you
When
belonged?
when Obama announced it, I couldn't believe it because I was planning to go back to Mexico when I turned 18.
Oh, really?
I really was. I was because I wanted to someday come back to the States, but I wanted to pursue college. And I knew at that time that it was either I joined the military, I joined the Air Force. Like that was my big dream. But growing up, it was either I joined the Air Force, but if that's not an option, I'm gonna go back to Mexico. And again, I just didn't want to live a life working under the table.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't want to live a life where that was really scary to me.
Yes. And it's like, I would think it would make it even harder to like find a job, you know,
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
like,
So
I
I
need
was
to
like,
look for some place that's going to pay me like that.
yeah, so I was like, you know what? I either join the Air Force or like my plan, go get an education and come back to like as soon as I turned 18, graduated high school, did and then come back. But then um Obama announced that I must have been like, that's in 2012. I was 14. I was 14 when yeah, when he announced it, and my sister was in tears. My sister was very much more of the mindset, like, I'm not leaving to Mexico ever again, you know? Uh, she was very much like, this is like my fucking home. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm not gonna get out of here. For
Yeah.
me, it was more like, I understand my circumstances. I understand where I stand. My plan is to one day stay, like one day come back. I didn't, unlike my sister was a lot more passionate about the topic than I was. She's older. Now she's a citizen. For me, it was more like, I understand. Like, I get it. She was more angry.
You like had like a plan. It sounds like you had, your first plan was join the military. If that didn't pan out, then you were like, I'm going to go back to Mexico when I turn 18 and get my education down there and come back.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it wasn't like, oh, I'll never see the US again. It was more like, I will. I'm not worried about it. But I have to see the goal. I have to see the end goal.
Yeah.
Um, then when that was announced, I was like, my God, I have a future.
Right.
And then college became a possibility. I was like, well, shit,
Right. Yes.
I'd just be able to go to fucking college. Shit. I was like,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Right.
What would that look
Yeah.
like? But that was finally a possibility for me. An American education.
Right.
Yeah.
My God. Okay. And how has it changed your life being able to have DACA? Did it open, well, you said you were able to go to college, so it opened some doors.
Yeah, I mean, I was able to, I guess, in um in my state, you're still allowed to go to college even if you don't have status, and they were still offering financial assistance. But it gave me the opportunity to know that I would have a job after my education, and a job that I like, a job that paid me well,
Right.
a job with health insurance.
Yeah.
It gave me a chance. Literally, that's it. It just gave me a chance.
Yes. It's that simple. It's
That's
just,
simple.
yeah, being able to
My
have a
level
chance.
skills.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Next one. You said you went to college, so you were able to get an education.
Yeah, I did Running Start, which here in my state is a program where you get to take college classes in high school. And I did that for my junior and senior year. So I completed an AA and I took a gap year after high school. I was completing my AA at 18, took a gap year, worked, didn't go to school. I took like jewelry class, something that I really enjoyed. My dad let me do that. And then when I went back to college, because I had already done 2 years of my education, my dad only had to pay out of pocket for the last year and a half. Because I think the way that it works is that instead of paying the high school, they pay the college. We paid the fees and stuff. But then when I got into university, it was during Trump's administration, first administration, and I was like, I don't know if he's gonna deport me or not, so I'm gonna chug as many credits as I can.
Yes.
So I ended up graduating within a year and a half of being at the university, with a double major. It was in linguistics with a concentration in psychology and cultural anthropology.
Was that scary when DACA was under attack when he took over
It was so
his first,
scary. Yeah,
right?
it was so scary. I was really stressed.
I was trying not to. I was trying to really be like he's not gonna be able to do it. It's not in his power to do it. But just, like my mom was calling me. She was in Texas at that time and she was calling me and she was like, "Oh my God, like, what are you gonna do?" And I'm just like, "Stop stressing me out.
Mm.
Like, it's gonna be okay. Like he's not gonna be able to do it." And thank goodness, because I was just like, no, like there's not, like I didn't have a plan B. I was just like, he's not gonna be able to accomplish it. He's not.
I was like, "He's gonna do it." I was like, "He's gonna
Sure.
do it."
Mhm.
Mhm, mhm. I was like, "He's
I
gonna
feel
fucking
like
do it."
I feel like this time around he's just like I don't remember him doing what he did, like his first term, like getting so many people into like different cabinets that he's doing now. Like
Yeah,
he's just picking all these people in.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I have no
So I
clue.
don't I feel like maybe that's why I wasn't so scared the first time around, because he was literally saying like I'm gonna take it away or whatever, but I was just like,
Well,
I
after
don't think it's gonna happen.
that recent interview with Morning America, I think, where he
Yeah.
says that he wants to give us a chance to
Okay,
I'm just gonna
so
reserve.
my issue with that interview, and I feel like he's not gonna do anything. My issue with that interview is, okay, he said in his interview he's planning to pardon all the January 6th rioters on his first day, right?
Mhm.
How is it that you have so much power to do that on your first day, but something like that guy, like, well, yeah, like I want
Well,
to
we're not
work with
bargaining yet.
Congress, I want to work with,
We're
like
not bar
the Democrats, I want to go ahead and, get everybody, he was like calling them out, saying how like when I was in there, I wanted to pass something, but they wouldn't vote on it. But how is it that you want to go ahead and pardon all these people
Well, I mean, I
on the
see ho
first day? On the first day.
yeah. Yeah. Who knows how much he'll get done and how much he'll end up doing throughout his presidency. I understand why he wants to pardon those people because, it was at the end of the day, to him, they were not I don't know.
Well, yeah, like it's his people, right? Technically, like it's all his followers.
Yeah. Yeah, those are his people.
Yeah. And it's just like, it makes no sense. Like when I saw the video, like a part of me was like, oh my God, yes, like, there's hope. But then I was like, no,
Mhm.
like you're just trying to, I feel like he's gonna pull the rug from under us, like he's like getting us excited, like being like, yeah, like I want to go ahead and do something for Dreamers. But then his other question where they said, oh yeah, like you want to take away, birthright citizenship. That doesn't make any sense. It's like, how are you planning to do something for DACA, but then you're planning to take away birthright citizenship?
Yeah, I mean, he I don't even know where to even to begin to understand him, but I'm gonna reserve my cynicism and see how things play out
Right.
because
It's like
yeah,
hopeful.
I mean, I want to be sarcastic and I
Right.
want to be like, what the hell? But maybe it does work out. Maybe it does pan out.
Hopefully.
And I hope I eat my words. I hope I am wrong. I hope that
Yeah.
things actually work out fucking great. And I hope that shit comes through. And I really do hope things work just fine and are just fine. I really do hope that he proves a
Yeah.
lot of us wrong.
Yes. Hopefully, he'll just talk on some of those things, but he follows through with that one.
That one and whatever else that he is actually going to benefit this country.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's see. You said that living with DACA is you can't really plan out your life. So you're kind of,
No.
because we live in this uncertainty, especially right now. You're like, I want to go back to school, but I don't know if you should or if you
Yeah,
can, because you don't want to start anything that you won't be able to finish.
Exactly. It affects everything. I mean, I would love to find a different job because I just want to have a bigger career, like a path for growth in my career. Because where I currently am, I feel a little stuck, but that feels scary, because what if my DACA ends in a year? And what if when Trump goes into presidency, he's like, oh no, we're not going to allow any more renewals. Then that means I'm only in that new job for
Oh
about
my
a
God,
year.
yeah. Your DACA is over when? In a year?
In a year. Yeah.
Mine
And
expires, yeah,
yeah.
2026.
Yeah. And then in relationships, I've had people break up with me because they can't handle the stress of a timeline on a relationship. Because I do tell them, I'm like, hey, I'm a DACA recipient. This is my expiration date. I do have a renewal process. I will likely be able to renew, but I do not know given the circumstances that I'm in. And people have been like, you know what? I can't take it. I'm gonna break up with you.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're like, "I don't want the pressure of a 2-year time frame on our relationship." And I'm like, "That's perfectly fine. You're right." And that's why I'm honest with you from day one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have had people like, they're like, they
That's
call
wow. That's
me
kind of like brave
"Hey."
of you to do that, to like put your cards on the table and be like, "Look, this is what I'm dealing with. If you want to, still go
'Cause it
through
would
with it,
break
like
my
this is."
heart if someone was like, "You marry me because of a green card."
Oh my God.
That would break my heart.
It would be like the biggest like slap in the face.
Exactly. I feel like I
Like
go
like
out there.
they're always gonna throw that in your face. You feel like?
Yeah. Well, I feel like I don't want that to ever happen, so I'm gonna make
For sure.
it one. I'm not marrying you because of a green card. I'm gonna marry you because I want this to work out, because I want a family with you, because I
Yes.
see
Yeah.
you as a good partner and a good father. So don't you dare come here and telling me that I married you because of green card. That's
You better not.
exactly. Which is why I'm just very forward from the very like,
Yeah.
okay, this is my reality. This is my truth.
Yeah. That's a great way to put it. That's your truth. Okay. What advice do you have for other dreamers who are going through similar career or like educational like yours, where they're maybe thinking about starting college or thinking
Do it.
about going to 4 year? Yeah, just do it. Just
Just do it.
don't think about it.
Don't be
Just go
scared
for
like
it.
that. Like I was scared when I started college, but he didn't do anything. And well, he did. He tried to, but nothing
You
happened.
tried.
And
Yeah.
I never
Yeah.
finished
Yeah.
college. Now I'm 26 years old and I'm in this space again. So I'm gonna try and explore the option and possibility of a different position. I'm gonna get back out there and start applying. And so if you are hesitant, do it. Just do it.
Don't live in fear.
Don't live in fear. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't let it. Yeah. Because can
What?
you imagine like
What?
nothing happens? Can you imagine nothing happens and then you just wasted 4 years of your life living in fear
Exactly.
for nothing? So you don't want to have a regret.
Have you seen the Cinderella story, the Disney movie?
Yes.
When the and I think about this scene a lot. There's a guitar in the diner, and it falls down, and she is reading it, and it says something like, "Don't let the fear of striking you out keep you from playing the game."
Yeah.
And that is what I say. Like, don't let the fear of striking out keep you from playing. Get back in there. Get in there. Let's do
Yes. Play the
it. Yeah. The game is like, keep at it.
literally. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. Ours might be a little bit more unpredictable, but we're used to it. We
Indeed.
know.
Indeed.
Yes. Okay. Next one. Do you feel a sense of belonging here in the US? Do you feel
Yeah.
like even though you know the language, you know the traditions, you know how like you may not have an accent, so like when you talk to somebody on the phone, I get this a lot. When I talk to people on the phone, they tell me that I sound like an old white lady. And then they see me and they're like,
Yeah. People are like, I'll be on the phone talking. Because, you also code switch and you get very, hi, my name is blah, 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 and how can I help you
yeah,
today? Very animated almost. And they're like, well, I'm like, hi, you've reached blah, blah. And they're like, okay. And they're like, sweetheart, what's your name? And I'm like, oh, Sahayra. And they're like,
they're like, huh,
what? I'm like,
it's true,
that's not what I know.
true. Yeah, I get a lot of, because I'm a server, so I get a lot of, well, your name is Loopy.
What
I'm more
interest?
like loop it. And I don't want to
Uh-huh.
correct them.
Yeah.
Or I'll just be like, you know what? Call me whatever you want. At this
No,
point, I
I
don't
mean,
even care. If you're
if
gonna
my
pronounce my
name
freaking
is
name
something like
wrong,
Lupe, I'd be like, "You're gonna say Lupe, right?" But it's Sahayra. And I'm like, "It's okay, I get it if you," and I'm just saying, I'm like, "It's okay if you don't get it the first time or the second or the third."
right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Do you feel like even though we know all the traditions here, we know, who because we do have two nationalities. Like you said at the beginning, you sometimes get it that you're not Mexican enough, you're not white enough. Do you feel like a sense of like you're not enough on either one?
I used to. A
Yeah.
whole lot. I used to. But now I don't. Ever since I took that Ancestor 2, 3 and Me test,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, "You know what? I am who I am. I'm a mix of whoever the heck, I am made up of." And, I identify as a Seattleite through and through, alright? I can be snobby about it, like, I'm like, "My city is better than every other city out there."
Yeah.
I identify as a Washingtonian. I'm like, "I love my state of Washington. Washington is better than any state out there."
Yeah.
Pacific Western, I wear that with pride. I wear it on my chest. Everything else, though, I kind of just stop. I just stop. I just stop. I'm just letting it slide off of me. Porque mira, they might
Right.
end up deporting me this year.
No digas eso.
I They might. So I'm like, I'm gonna stop worrying about it. I did a lot growing up, and I did a lot for a long time. But I felt embarrassed. I felt embarrassed that my Spanish wasn't perfect, that my English, there's words I don't know how to spell because the spelling is like all confusing. Um,
Right? Or like
yeah,
that pronunciation of something and like of a
yeah.
word, you're like,
At some point, like, am I dyslexic? What is going on?
right? Yes.
Yeah, but now, no, I am very, very American. Okay, I eat my burgers and my fries, and sometimes not always
Oh my
very
God,
rare.
like that country song says, you put mustard on your fries.
Yeah, no, seriously, like I used to feel out of place growing up, but now I don't. Now I'm an adult. I'm my own person, and I'm very proud of who I am. And who am I? I'm a Mexican who was raised in the States and identifies and feels very much American as well.
There you go.
Narrative.
Okay. Next one. So we know the results of the election. Did you watch it when all the states were declaring, if it had gone blue or red? Were you watching it?
Yeah. Sorry. It was very
Was it right? It was shocking to see that most of the country was turning red.
it was
Was it
shocking.
shocking to you? Or were you like, I knew it was gonna go this way?
I always said I knew it was gonna be Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always said I knew Trump was gonna win. It was still shocking by the margin that he won. No, but I said that many times. I said it many times. Trump is gonna win.
I feel like I wasn't in disbelief. I really thought that she was gonna win it. I really thought that she was gonna win it.
I had a glimpse of
That it was
hope
gonna be close,
that it
but
was gonna
that
be.
she was gonna win.
I didn't. I was fairly certain. Yeah, from the moment he ran again for election, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna win.
Like towards the end with all those like when he was doing all his rallies and stuff, I was like, there's no way. There's no way they're gonna vote for him. Like yeah. I just couldn't believe it. Like the way he was acting, the stuff he was saying. I was just like, these people cannot vote for him. And then I just saw the map turning more red, and I was like, this
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
do you feel like when you saw that and he was running mostly on immigration, on the economy, did you feel something when you saw that map turning red and you were seeing how like most of America is feeling towards immigration? Because I
No,
feel
I
like that was
felt
like the biggest topic. Like
the
they really don't want us here. Like they really,
no, I felt it the first time he ran.
yeah,
And feeling it. Yeah. No, when it turned well, it wasn't. I wasn't really fazed by how the U.S. perceived immigrants. I felt the shock the first time. I cried the first time, when, and I have felt it since.
Yeah.
But no, the second time that he ran, I went to sleep, I woke up, I was like, it is what it is kind of thing.
You were like, I don't even want to see it while it's happening.
Just the next day.
Yeah.
I had a big training the next day. Life moves on kind of thing.
I
The
was
first
really
time
shocked.
he won,
Yeah.
I was, oh my God. The second time, this time around, I was like, I'm surprised by the margin,
Yes.
but yeah.
Yeah.
After I saw that she lost Pennsylvania, I was like, yeah, okay, night's over.
Oh my God. Right. Yeah.
I just hope that
Yeah. It's just like,
I really hope that he does come through with giving DACA recipient a path for citizenship and Congress.
yeah.
It's reconnecting, by the way. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Is yours good?
Yeah,
Back on.
yeah.
Okay. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Are you planning on watching the inauguration on January?
I normally never do. I might this
Yeah.
time. I might tune in.
I don't know if I want. Just see all those stupid red hats on everybody.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've never seen. I've never. No, I don't have memory. No, no one inauguration. But now that you mention it,
Yeah.
it may be good. I mean, if there's something that he talked about that's important during the celebration.
Were you shocked to see all the Latinos for Trump?
Yes and no. Again, I wasn't shocked at all this time that he won. I wasn't shocked by all the people that voted for him. Like I saw it coming 100%. It's just what shocked me most was people who voted for him because of the tariffs he was going to impose.
Oh yeah, that.
People
Yeah.
who don't understand how that works. That was like come on, buddy.
Right. Do you know how they say like a lot of Latinos they only care about themselves, you know? Like once they get that citizenship, they don't care about the rest behind them.
I think from my experience, people in my family, they move away from focusing on immigration and focus on economy.
Yeah.
So they are like, oh, the immigration is gonna be fine. Like they're not gonna do anything. They want changes in economy. And so I don't think they do it with the intention of being neglectful towards their community or what was once their community. But I think they're more focused on trying to get out of poverty. And I'm not saying everyone is poor, but as immigrants, we start from zero. So
Yeah.
we want to get up there. I think that's where that I think I'm no expert.
Yeah. That's true. I don't know. For me, it was kind of disappointing to see like all the Latinos getting interviewed and being like, yeah, immigration is a big problem.
I guess I didn't see a lot of those interviews or those videos enough. I didn't come across any of those.
Yeah. I was just like, wow. Because they showed like the statistics of how many like Latinos, like especially like Latino men voted for him.
I didn't see that chart.
Yeah, I was just like mendigos. Okay, what are your thoughts on the current state of immigration policy, and what are your thoughts on DACA? Do you think like DACA has been around since 2000, so it's already been over 10 years that DACA has been around. Do you feel like they should give us all already a green card? Because I feel like we have proven ourselves, no? Like, because in order to have DACA, they have to do a background check every 2 years.
I
You have
ideally
to have like a perfect record.
ideally I would want us to immediately have a green card, but I don't want to push
Yeah,
our luck.
yeah.
I don't want to push her.
I feel like they should give us at least like permanent residency.
Yeah, I agree.
That would be good. That way
That
you don't have to be renewing every 2 years.
yeah, that would be really nice.
Because the permanent residency is for how long? 10 years?
5 years? No, 10.
5 years?
No clue.
Because girl, it is so expensive doing DACA, especially like I don't trust myself to fill out those forms.
You don't do it yourself?
Girl, no, no, I don't trust myself to fill it out. ¿Qué pasa si la riego and I fill something out wrong?
Get an original copy of the first application.
I just can't. I don't know. I feel like it's such like a legal document that I don't know. I don't want to
Go
fill
through a
something
lawyer
out
for
wrong.
that? That's so much money.
I know, girl. Thank goodness I got lucky last year and I did it through there's something here in California called Churla. I don't know if they have it like in other states, but it's they help with immigration and they do like a lot of work within the community and they go to like what is it called? They do like rallies and stuff.
Methanol. It's
But
methanol. But
yeah,
I did
yeah,
not know
girl,
that.
no. Yeah, no, I don't trust myself. Yeah, it's like $1,000 because you got to pay for the paperwork and then the lawyer.
That's insane.
I know it's
I
crazy.
only pay the renewal fee,
Yeah, the renewal fee what is 475 for something, no?
$4.95.
$500, girl. What's another five? So every 2 years we need to pay this fee, get a background check, fingerprint. I haven't had to go do my fingerprints in a while now. Have you?
Yeah, I think so this time around.
Yeah. Okay. Next one. What do you think of the portrayal of immigrants in the media today?
That's
How do you
unfortunate.
think we are being seen out there?
Well, with this, what was it? He was Venezuelan who murdered that young American girl.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unfortunate. I understand how that fear is built. I don't know. I think they've been doing a really kind job towards portraying DACA recipients.
Right.
Yeah, I can't complain. Maybe I'm just more forgiving. The media today, it's just so dividing. You know,
It really is. Yeah.
it's like I hate how much they invest in keeping us divided. I guess I wish I could come up here with like, oh yeah, I stand this and like screw this and screw that. But no, I'm a very understanding person and I totally understand how they see it. Or they end up.
Yeah. Okay. To end the episode, if you could tell, well, how we met was through one of your poems on TikTok, and you had mentioned that you had wrote a poem to Congress, not a poem, a letter to Congress that you never sent. What would be a message that you could tell Congress now about DACA or about immigration?
Did you see the letter that I wrote? Did you see the one that I posted?
Yeah, you were, yeah. Yeah, when you told me about it and then you posted it like a couple days later, I was like, oh my God, yes.
No, the actual letter.
Oh, no.
No. I think I would just want to highlight the last thing that I wrote in that letter. Uh, Let me find it. I asked Congress to come together to find a solution for childhood arrival. I'm not asking for handouts. I'm asking for the ability to plan out more than 2 years of my life at a time. I ask that you see the potential that in this person, this country met for the first time 2 years ago. I promise to give back the kindness that was shown to me, and that's what I ask of you. I have spent 92% of my life in uncertainty, and half the time I've been used as a bargaining chip. I'm beyond exhausted, burnt out, and without breath. I plead for Congress to come together to find a solution for childhood revival. I don't call myself a dreamer, for what I dream of is neither impossible nor impractical. I do not sit on hours wishing that my life were different. I do not have hours to sit on. I have today to live and a community to contribute to, and so I do not lie in bed and dream of my future. I simply cannot. My sight does not lay a moment beyond the expiration date on my work permit. I ask for a path that won't expire. I wrote a whole letter, but for the
Yeah.
sake of time, that is what I wish that they knew. I just ask for a path. But it is really, I will fill out the documents, I will fill out the paperwork, I will pay the fees. Like,
Right.
I just want a path. And a
Yes.
path that
Yes.
I
Like,
get married to someone to obtain citizenship.
yes.
Let
No.
me earn it
No.
based on
Exactly.
merit.
Yes. Like you want to earn it. You want it to be yours. You want it to be something that you've accomplished.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to get it through
I would
that
love
path.
to go back to school. You want me to join the military? At
Right.
this age, my bones hurt. But just give it something.
Literally. Yes. Like you said in your poem, like it feels like a bargaining chip, you know? It feels like they just keep playing with you
Yeah.
Every 4 years, that's the main topic, and every 2 years, it feels like, will I get it? Will I not? So it does feel like that, like you're just in limbo.
Mhm. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, ma'am.
Yes, girl. Well, thank you so much for coming on, telling your story. Do you have any last words for any fellow dreamers out there? Like a lot, there's a
Deep
lot
breath,
of,
man. Deep breath.
yes, yes. There's a lot of fear. I've seen like a lot of videos on TikTok of people just living in fear, thinking, making their plans already. But like, do you have any advice for them, for the ones that are scared?
Honestly, I would connect with another dreamer if possible. I would connect with another DACA recipient. When I posted that video and I received like words of support and encouragement from other dreamers and other DACA recipients and just feeling part of my community, it felt great. And I didn't feel so scared. So if possible, try to connect, try to reach out. Because you're not alone and we're in this together. We are. Yes, ma'am. No, you're not. Over 500,000. We're 500,000 strong. Yeah. We're on a head, y'all. Yes, we can. Thank you. You're amazing. My thing is at 23%. Do I just leave it there until it shows 100?